Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is the war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time for the stop time? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, in peace. Alright. Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is the war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time, brother, stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, in peace. Alright, peace, peace, together. Peace.
Thank you guys for joining me on the Shadow Chasing Show. And I'm your host, Eric West Guy Club. Thank you for being part of the program. I'm having fun this week. Actually, I'm having fun. About a half hour ago, I was actually, I'll say an hour ago, I was invited to come and join someone's page on Telegram. It was a very large page. It had over 7,000 people or their members of it. And I thought, well, you know what? They invited me to be part of it. The guy who owned the page invited me to come down and to see, what I think. And I said, sure. So I came in there and listened to it a little bit. This is before I did my program. And I guess whatever I guess everybody's sharing information was going on out there in the world. And I guess I said something that, not to insult anybody, but I just said something that I knew of to share with the world and in our country in Canada. And next thing you know, and then people are asking me if I've got a page here on Telegram, and I do. It's called the True North Strong and Free, which I do. And I tell people this is a place you can join up. And if you're not on Telegram, you can always join up. Download the app, become friends of the group called True North Strong and Free. And when you join up, the cool part is that you get to share information, what's going on. If you know something that I don't know, or maybe the world needs to know. And this is international. This is actually an international page. So this is what I've been doing for a long time. And this is even, I guess I started using Telegram just before the big C happened. So just around, I'm going to say 2018, I think is when I started it there, when they started the Telegram. But anyways, it was a slow start, and getting into it. And I guess now I got more members joining because now they're realizing that, a lot of great information is going to help benefit the people. And there was one young lady that I responded back to me. She goes, Derek, I didn't know this information that you're sharing tonight. I had no idea. And she lives in Canada. And she goes, I have no idea that was going on. I said, so I shared that. And I was going to send them a file of someone who was going to, I guess, share something that's truthful, that she's going to, I guess I'll call her a whistleblower, because this woman herself is female. Yes. And she actually was once in the military, Canadian Armed Forces, and she's a veteran. And she felt it was in her right that she wanted to share something. So I was going to share that particular video on the page. And I told him, I said, just bring it back and share this on the page. And next thing you know, boom, like I'm gone. I can't get back in the page. Like they just went gone. And I found out later that I had the whoop. Sorry, guys. We are okay. Hang on a second here. I can't even answer her. Okay. Let's see. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to have her. Hang on a second, guys. That was supposed to have been turned off. Okay, there we go. I just texted her something. Just there, I'm live on radio. Anyways, here's what's going on. And I hope I didn't lose my show. Let's get back to it. Resume. There we go. We're back. We're going to resuming. I thought it was turned off. Hang on a second. It is turned off. How is it that it came up? It's not supposed to do that. Crazy. Okay. Anyways, like I said before, get back to me. Where's my face? There's my face. On this page. So what happened was, I guess I said sharing the story, and then the Telegram basically banned me. So that not Telegram itself, but that particular page banned me out. And then I said, okay, fine. I try to reapply back in. Nope, never be able to be. I guess whatever I did, whatever they didn't like, I said, or maybe I don't know what happened, but maybe somebody was I said I guess they could have been not really happy whether I had shared or did not, and thought maybe I was trying to take their room away from them and mislead people out of their room into my room. I'm not a troller. That's not what I do. I like to give people great information. I said, whenever you want to, you're welcome to come over and have a look what I share. But I'm just first time in that room, and for this particular room. Anyways, that's what happened. So yeah, I got banned. And that's the first time I've banned. I've been banned before from other pages. But here's what happens, folks. Whenever you are sharing something really good, maybe it may not be that subject. Could be me something. Maybe somebody thought I was a troll, and that's not what I'm there for. I was invited by someone who actually owned that room, and he knew I had knowledge. That's why he invited me to be part of it, because not everybody is. That's the way it is. The Telegram gives you more freedom to say and information you could share with the world. That's the cool part of it. This is the reason why I do this, because I love to share stuff across the world about what's going on, what I know here. So that's why I do this. That's the reason why I get myself in a lot of trouble. So anyways, yeah, okay, let's go there. And so it happens. Same with Facebook. And if you ever do any kind of social networking, folks, and you start getting into it more, anything you'd like to share with the public, if your social networks don't like it, they'll kick you out or they'll ban you. Most time right now, they're not as intrusive as by banning you, because they know very well, if they know what the military code is, they can't keep you out from going, find out what you want to get done to share with the public. But they're trying their darndest, and I'll tell you why. I mean, I have a very close friend who's dealing with his own personal stuff right now, and there are people out there that, whenever you're working on social networks, and you got certain people that, if you have really good information that certain groups or certain organizations don't want you to share, and those 3-letter words, okay, you guys know those 3-letter words, but they don't like you to share something they know very well is true, then they give you a phone call, and if you don't believe them, then they come pay you at the door. So those 3-letter words, they came to visit, or I'm not sure they came to visit this person, but I would say put a good scare in this, in one of my friends. So a lot of your social networks are controlled by 3-letter words. I mean, they know exactly what's going on. And like I said before, the thing is that we have the right to share the truth to the world, because, let's put it this way, our commander-in-chief is in control of them. They can't control him. And it's not just him working alone. These are special alliance group that are far above the 3-letter words. But again, whatever has happened has happened. So I just tell people, do your best. Whatever, I tell people this: don't quit, don't give up. If you know very well deep in your heart that you want to share the truth, then you share the truth. Anybody that tells me that, oh, well, I have no right to say this, I have no right to say that, I have the right. Because I'm born in this world. We're all born in this world to share something that's important, because the public needs to know. I mean, a lot of people had no idea how corrupt our country was in, and especially our country in Canada. And we've had some very bad, corrupt politicians, and we have them as MPs right now. We have a lot of corrupt MPs. And for example, we'll talk about this veteran in a few minutes, but Jagmeet Singh, for example, NDP. He actually, there was a video that was recently released a couple of days ago, and I really feel this was staged. This is a stage setup. I think Jagmeet Singh needed something to play the role as tough guy, because people sees Jagmeet as being a coward. And I know that he's lesser than that. He's more than just that. Anyways, because let's put it this way, Jagmeet Singh was kicked out of India. He's been banned from his own country. Why? What did he do wrong that bans him from his country? Maybe because political and it has to cause something to do with boom boom, and it also relates to the past. So it's all to do with airplanes, and he was related to that from the past in his younger years. So that's been going around still, and for some reason he was pardoned in Canada, so that's why he became NDP. That needs to be shared, and if that truth is true, then that needs to be shared in public. The public needs to know the truth, because the thing is that you don't allow a politician to get away with MURDER anywhere and think that he or she is going to be the leader of our country. No, or leaders or NDP or whatever they call MPs. Okay. Yes, he was part of that that are in the chat room. And I'm doing this safely because of YouTube. But anyways, it's been proven, and he got pardoned, but he's not allowed in his country back. He'll never be able to go back to his own country. So the last couple of days ago, there's a couple of young guys that I saw a video. A couple of young guys actually were calling him out, calling him a. And the guy's taller. The guy who was video recording him was much taller than Jagmeet. Jagmeet turned around like he wasn't even. Jagmeet was on the street. He was walking away with another man. It was an empty street. Nobody was there. Empty street. It looked like a cul-de-sac is what it was. Nobody, no buildings. Like nobody was around him. He walked towards the as if he's walking away, but there's nowhere to go. And he called him out. Called him nothing but a lying SOB, and called him a corrupt SOB. Okay. So Jagmeet gets his shoulders up, turned around. Say that again. Say what again? What you said to me. The guy goes, I didn't say anything. So that's what he's on this video says he didn't say anything. This is a setup. And it made it look as like he's still recording it. The guy backed down. He was taller. The camera guy was taller, much more larger in the shoulders, but he backed down off Jagmeet. Now, why? Why did he back down? Even though everybody knows it's true. Okay, that the guy is a liar and that he's he's corrupt. The guy called him out on it. And Jagmeet didn't like, and I guess, like I said before, this is a setup. This is a ploy to let people think that he's got more guts before he gets back into or so he can stay in politics. Jagmeet should never be NDP. Should never be a politician at all. Period. Should never been in politics. You get kicked out of your own country, that means you should never be in politics. Something you did was pretty nasty. That your own country doesn't want you in there. That person should never be in government whatsoever. So I would say, so anyways, like I said before, now there have been other people that actually seen this video on one fellow who actually is a freedom fighter and said, in his own words, Jagmeet, if I see you on the street and I call you out in your name and call you a lying son of a bitch and corrupt and all that, I'll tell it to your face. I won't back down. You see, does it take someone to back it up who's smaller than him? Than the guy who's holding the camera and calling him out? This man was smaller than him that actually said those words on this last video I just saw. It's all on TikTok, guys. Because this guy said, "Well, he's there every week. He's there every day, and now he's going to focus on Jagmeet Singh, and he's going to call him out on his BS, and that's what's going to happen." So, I know very well. I don't know how he became. Yeah, you're right, Corlin. I don't know how he became the leader of the NDP. I have no idea. I think he knows certain people at the top that got him there. So, and maybe he was close friend to the first original Justine Trudeau. Maybe he was close friends, like really close friends. Bedmates, you never know, right? So we'll see. and maybe they went camping together somewhere, Brokeback somewhere. Anyways, so what I was trying to point out is that this is what he was doing when I saw this, and I thought something's not right. This is a setup. This is not a real one. This is actually staged. Because why the guy back down? I strongly feel about that. Yes, Travis. Yeah, you can blame the movie. You got your cowboy, and then you got your urban turban. You remember that urban cowboy? Yeah, we got cowboys, we've got cowboy hats, and we have urban turban. So that's my joke. So, no disrespect. I got really good friends that are in the Indian community. They would just love it. So I'm not disrespecting anybody. Yeah, like a rhinestone plowboy. Oh my God, I'm getting deep into this. Oh, I'm getting myself in trouble. Okay, next. Let's talk about the veteran. I want to bring her in this picture. I'm going to swing her into the scene now. I think this is going to benefit you guys to see this. You need to see this. I'm going to bring it in. I know very well, I don't think YouTube ever would have liked this, but someone's got to see it. And I'll bring it in. So here it goes, guys. Watch this and listen carefully. Please listen carefully. Okay, here we go.
So I'm going to spill the tea because there's nothing they can do to me. Like, what are you going to do? Take away my birthday? So anyway, I'm a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces. There's a base called Canadian Forces Base Suffield. It is not Canadian owned. It is owned by the British. And the reason it is not Canadian owned is because all of us Canadians have been sold a line of bullshit that Canada does not take part in chemical or biological warfare. And that is a load of shit. Because at Canadian Forces Base Suffield, we are the leading producer of the world with regards to mustard gas. You heard that correct. Canada produces mustard gas. At Canadian Forces Base Suffield, which is British owned again, they conduct many experiments on pigs with these chemical and biological weapons. These are recorded and videotaped and shown to the troops as training aids during first aid training. And a lot of medical technicians have been sent there to partake in these experiments. Okay, next, Canadian Forces Base Borden. I got two things to tell about them. There is a unit there that actually monitors within a 100-kilometer radius every tweet, Facebook, and TikTok account. So they know everything you're being monitored, okay? Within a 100-kilometer radius of Canadian Forces Base Borden. That's just north of Toronto. At this base is also a very large ammo depot. It supplies all the ammo, missiles, you name it, from Toronto east, okay? Since 2014, once a month, an entire tractor-trailer load of ammo has been picked up from this ammo depot in Borden, at night, by the way, and they truck it to CFB Trenton. Trenton, it will sit there and wait for the Airbus or the Herc or whatever plane's going to pick it up. It gets loaded on that plane and gets sent over to the Ukraine. Once a month since 2014, ammo has been being sent over to the Ukraine. So, anyway, there's the tea.
Okay. Now you know. What do you think? Pretty scary, huh? I'm telling you guys, this is something here. She's pissed. She's so pissed. And yet, you know, now I know we want to acknowledge all of our veterans that are innocent, because I mean, not every veteran is involved this way, but somebody high above, and those would be generals, that did this. Okay, now she came forward and said, I got to tell you this, because why is Canada so adamant of committing a war? And I will say those words, those three-letter words, or the three letters to make that word. Why does and this is yesterday, folks, Justin Trudeau, the PM, the fake one, said that Canada is going to go to war, and they're going to against Russia, and they're going to help Ukraine. Why? We don't want to go to war, Trudeau, but why are you saying these words? Okay. Why are they getting people all hyped up? And he says he wants to go to war against Russia. What has Russia got against Canada? Nothing. But because our Canadian government are suppliers of military, you know what, to the Ukraine, what does that tell you? Okay. Now there's more to the Ukraine, because basically we already know Chrystia Freeland actually is also on board with this, because she is a double agent working for the Ukraine, and that's been known for years. But did you know that yourself? I bet you didn't. She's been working back and forth because she's related to the people in that country. She's related to the government. There's a government official there with Zelensky, who she's close friends of, and George Soros, very close friends to Uncle Soros. Now you know. This is all, I mean, let's put it this way, folks. Why did we have, I mean, let's put it this way, it must be about 6 months, maybe a year now. When was that fellow came to Parliament? Okay, there was a fellow who called himself a freedom fighter for the Ukraine, and he was actually he was supposed to be a veteran, and they gave him a standing ovation in Parliament. They found out that the public found out later that a Ukrainian freedom fighter means, that's just a code word, means SS officer for Hitler. He's a bad boy. And that changed everything up. Now, who brought this guy in? Guess who? Freeland. She knew. Okay? She knew all about it. And yet she sucked you guys in. That's what they've been doing for years, guys. That's what they've been doing for years. They've been sucking in politicians, and a lot of SS officers are still alive. Some are still around here, and they are working with our country and have always been. And one of those leaders that have been working on this country, or have been controlling this country, are the Rothschilds, because they're the ones that controlled Hitler. Okay, Hitler was just a follower. He was just told what to do. You know, sure, oh, he's a great leader. Oh, he wasn't. Sure, they made him look like a great leader. Hitler was the fall guy. Okay, sure, he may have had some issues, but he himself, he had a lot of bad boys that were far more powerful than he was. They were far more these guys that were, why they have the SS officers? Why they had just SS? Well, geez, remember that work you got, the SS mark? Where's that SS come from? It looks familiar. That symbol, SS, it actually belongs to something. Another symbol. Have you guys seen that before? Think about it. Where does that word, that lettering, the two letters, SS, they look like, you know, S, okay, not a curled S, but a crooked S, two together. What does it remind you of? Who owns that SS? Same design on the German uniforms. We have been led around for generations by the Germans in this country. I couldn't figure this out until later on when I was in school. Okay? I couldn't figure this out until later on when I was in school, when I realized after, this is back in the 1960s, where one of our teachers, Mr. Smans, was German. We had a German teacher. And he was major pro Hitler. I mean, he was pro that. And he says, I remember the time he said to us in class, he says, the war is not over. The war is not over. He says, I'm going to teach you German. I'm going to teach you German. He didn't say German. He calls it German. I'm going to teach you German. And what's German? You call it German. We call German. We're going to teach you this language. Okay. But I'm going to teach you a little bit higher language. That we have there's 8 different dialects or 8 different levels of German. And the high German is Hitler's German. And the low German is the villagers. He says, because your families are in between, we'll teach you the middle German. A little bit of that, whatever they throw in there. So he was trying to teach kids. They offered the kids teach them German. I had no interest in it. Not at all. But other kids are going, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, because you have a choice between either learn German or French. I rather would have learned French or something else than German. But anyways, just me as a kid. So he was going to try and teach us German. That's why, for example, the name George, we think the word George is British. It's not. It's German. And actually, the name is Georg. Okay, when you say it's not George, it's Georg. That's how they actually would say the true phonetic word is. That's how they use it. So, anyways, what I'm trying to point out is that we've been immersed into the Fourth Reich here in this country for years, and as well as the United States, as well as other parts of the world. They've been immersing it in us for different levels, and Hitler did say, and so the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all said, the Bilderbergs, they're all German. They're all part of this. Okay. Their goal was to teach us. NASA is run by the 13 scientists that they brought in, and they were from the Second World War. These are experimental. These are scientists that actually do experimentations on people. It's been going. That's why they call it NASA. NASA actually is part of Germany. Okay. Yeah, Ernie says I was in German foster homes and had to learn German. Yeah, the thing is that when you're an Indigenous person, you should have been in an Indigenous family home, not somebody else's home. Other people were in East Indian foster homes. Seldom an Indigenous person was actually placed into an Indigenous home as a foster care. This is earlier years. It was seldom. It was either East Indian, or not even East Indian back then, but more like German, Jewish, or of other ethnic backgrounds, Ukraine, Polish, French. That's pretty well it. My parents, our family were foster parents for a couple of years for a couple of young girls. It was a baby and the other young girl that I thought we were going to adopt them. Like my mom was going to adopt them. I was going to have another little sister. But apparently the foster people would not allow my mother to adopt. I don't know why. First of all, the second girl, the oldest girl was 10 and she was First Nations. My mom had the right to adopt her if she wanted to, but they wouldn't let her. I don't know why. Then my mother wanted to adopt the baby, and because she was foster care, they wouldn't let her either. So my mother had to. She just basically stopped becoming a foster parent because it was too much for her. All she wanted to do was to help kids and make sure there's a place that's safe for them to be in. I mean, this is what happens, right? Every woman, whether you have children or not, you just care for children. You want to be there for them all the time. You want to make sure they're safe. or feeling safe, because there was so much endangerment back in the 60s, just as much as the other times. I mean, not endangerment, but just life, because life in general, there were moms that could not have them. They're forced to give up their kids because they were not married. And that was harder on the young ladies back then. That's why most of them were on foster care, because they were forced to give up their child because they're not married to someone. It had nothing to do with not because the young woman, like the last young lady who actually had this baby, she wanted to keep the baby, and the government wouldn't let her because she wasn't married. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what it was back in those years. Back in the 1960s, it was illegal to be a single mom in Canada. It was illegal. You had to have two parents to raise a child. You were not allowed to raise one. Now, the farmers are a little bit different. For some reason, if you're a farmer and you had a child, if you're a single mom or whatever, single dad, and you got a child, you're farm labor. Oh, sure. Go ahead. You can adopt this child, farm labor. That's what it was in Canada, farm labor. Adopt this child and you get free labor. And that's exactly how they raised the kids. We had farm labor for generations since the mid 1800s. Harmony says, I was put into East Indian Home. They got me into powwow life. Oh, that's how you met me. Ah, cool. Thank you. Yeah. So that's just the way things are, right? And actually surprising that being an East Indian Home, that's how they got you into powwow life, because it's still different, because then you never think they would do that. They've tried to teach you their language, their custom, tradition, that sort of thing. But being in the powwow life, it's wonderful. Go for it. It's important. It's because having to learn learn about yourself. This is what powwows are all about. Learning about yourself and dancing and celebrating life. It's a celebration of life, is what it really is. And your identity as who you are as a woman and a man. So like I said before, this has been going on for generations. And I want to share this with you guys because, like I said before, in this country, we have been led by, I guess you say secretly, by a German organization. They're the ones that have been controlling this country. The Queen is only a figurehead, and you guys might not realize, Queen Elizabeth was not even British. She was German, and she was Hitler's cousin. This is all set up for all you guys. Okay. Ernie says I had to feed 52,000 chickens every day for 3 years. Wow. So you had to feed one seed at a time. Okay, I was just kidding. Yeah, I know. I had chickens too. Chickens. I was raised on the farm, so I had horses and cattle. We had pigs. We had chickens. We had turkeys. We had ducks, geese. Typical farm kid. So I did all the cutting, slaughtering, and dressing them, not in clothes. But that's I used to do all the helping out, and my job was to offer their heads, and my parents would cut them out, and that's how we made a living doing it. So, like I said before, I wanted to share that with you. Now, if you guys, those are coming into the chat room tonight, if you haven't seen the video on this program, if you get a chance, once this whole show is over after, and I'm not saying now, but when the show is over after, please like and share it, and also to review it at the beginning and watch that video what the veteran had shared, because it's very, very important. You guys need to see it. Okay. Like I said before, Jagmeet Singh is in Deep Kaka. He's going to be out of here before you know it. They're going to, like I said, I can't figure out how come he's still around. So, what else is coming up here? What's next? Okay, take care of Jagmeet Singh. Now there's also oh yes, where did I put it? You guys are gonna have fun with this one. Let's see if I can bring it up. If I have it here, where did I put you? I put it in the file. Da-da-da. Let me bring this up. Very, very important. This one. It's so important. I'm trying to find it. I just downloaded. Here it is. I just finished downloading it.
My name is Paul McCartney. No, don't adjust your volume.
Okay. You're going to be absolutely shocked. I'm going to crank this volume up a little bit more for the listeners on this because his volume's down on this site. You're going to be shocked when you see this. Okay. He finally came forward and confessed. Da-da-da. Who do you think that is, guys? He calls himself Paul McCartney, aka Billy Shears Campbell, the man that replaced Paul McCartney when Paul died in 1966. Now, listen to the video. Please like and share this one. Ready for this? Here we go.
You heard me correctly. I said fall. Why, you ask? Because I am not the real Paul McCartney. The real Paul McCartney was replaced by myself, William Shears Campbell, in 1966 after he was killed in a tragic automobile accident. I am getting on in years and not sure how much time I have left. I wanted to get this message out before I leave this earth. For those of you that suspected as much, you were right. I even wrote a book all about this with my confession and many details. The book has been successfully suppressed by MI5, MI6, and the deep state. It will be hard, but you can still get it. The name of the book is The Memoirs of Billy Shears. I suspect that now that I have officially come forward, I will be having an unfortunate accident or just natural causes. So I bid you all farewell and thank you for the fame and fortune I would never have received on my own. Cheers. Love you all. Billy.
Okay. And your thoughts? What do you guys think? What do you think? Okay, so is he feeling guilt? Did he feel guilty that he had to tell the truth before he was replaced? Before he left this world? Some people actually will carry guilt feelings before they leave this world, before they let go. And I thought he felt that he thinks he needs time to say, okay, you know what, I need to confess. So that's very possible. He probably did confess. Let's see here. What else we got here coming up? Now, this is actually today's confession. It's what I had sent. They sent me. Let's see. The other one here. Where are you? Okay. This is going to be rather interesting. Now, Daniel Smith, who's actually the premier of Alberta. Now, apparently, there's a young lady who actually is an MP that she wanted to come back and working for Daniel Smith, but she's not being allowed to join Daniel Smith because the young lady herself actually made I would say, in one way, a comment regarding an LGBTQ, something where it was, I can't remember what it was, but something to do with that she wasn't really I guess to say, not really liking, which she's seen this symbol. This person here calls themselves Carla Marx, who is, you know what it is. It's a trans femme communist drag comrade, she, her. Carla Marx demanded that this woman recognized Carla Marx as a woman, even though this is a person that is not a woman by birth. And so Daniel Smith decided to make an agreement to send her to this person, and this person, Carla Marx, to make judgment whether, and this girl, young lady who's an MP, had said to her, if you're going to work with Daniel Smith, you have to basically recognize me as a woman. If you don't recognize me as a woman, then you're not going to be part of an MP party. So, but this is Carla Marx's symbolisms. Number one, you know what this is on the rear end. That's her. It's supposed to be look like a rear end of a, like, you know, this is supposed to be the old original communist Russian. This is the Russian thing, guys. This is supposed to be under the word Karl Marx, 1917, but this person's calling themselves Carla Marx. Okay, communist. Why would a communist person who's actually working as an MP supposed to be helping or giving decisions for Daniel Smith? And then she's telling Daniel Smith, oh, you can't hire her because she didn't accept it. But she did say, the young lady did say, I'll think about it, but I can't make a decision yet. So it was written in here. Someone says, look at the symbols and wording of Russian comrade Karla Marx has threatened to advise and bully to the Canadian Alberta leader. You wonder why Alberta Premier Daniel Smith doesn't want any connection to her party. Blocked hair Marx or him Marx. And that's, there you go. See, that was look like to you. Something that's not nice. But this person takes great pride, no pun intended, but take great pride in using that symbol or the phallic symbol and call them, and they're supposed to be working, and they're supposed to work alongside Daniel Smith. Are you kidding me? But guess what, guys? Daniel Smith, this Carla Marx, stated with that, I'm finally blocked by her. And basically Daniel Smith blocked Carla Marx because Daniel Smith realized that you don't want to have a communist make any decisions for you in your own province. She's a premier. Why are you taking advice from this person? Because this person actually admitted that they're communist. Okay, I don't give a crap what they decide to become. That doesn't bother me. Is using this word, that is not a good word. Okay, I don't give a rat's butt about anything else, but these two symbols here, that and that, is not accepted in government. And that's why I'm telling people or sharing with people, this is not right. If you're going to allow this person, Carla Marx, to give that person telling her what to think, then Daniel Smith should not be in government. Okay, but Daniel Smith never did accept, but she did block that person. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. You have to think. You got to think for yourself, guys. If you don't agree with what goes on in this world, if you don't want to agree about anyone that's dealing with, that's working, or that's part of an LGBTQ plus community, that's your choice. But it doesn't have to get forced down people's throats, and it gets to go too far. And that's why a lot of our kids are so messed up right now. I'm hearing stories from other mothers and fathers' children who are so messed up that don't want to go back to school because they're forced to do ridiculous things, and they're forced to do sexual programs or sexual touching of a naked man in school or schools. Okay, not women, naked men. These naked men take their clothes off in front of all these kids, little kids, and they're forced to ride and sit and touch everything that person laying on the floor and touch them. And it gets this man all aroused. And because Trudeau changed the laws that any child over 8 years old has the right to touch or to sexually, whatever, that type of thing, to anyone. And that's wrong. This has gone too far. We already know that Trudeau has always been on the both male side. We already knew that. I mean, people knew that for years. And people knew that also he has his favorite little island he goes to that's outside of Ontario. It's all part of Ontario, this little tiny island. And he hangs out there with them, hangs out literally. And it's actually, they call it ORGY Island. And that's where he used to hang out all the time. But the very same, now, and after he was taken away, July 19th, 2019, and then when the new Trudeau came back, the people that knew of him as neighbors, he did not recognize them. He never even acknowledged them whatsoever, as if they never even existed. So they knew then this is not the real Trudeau. And also, too, he never returned back to that ORG Island. Okay, so if they never turn back, that means that none of this is actually happening the way it once was. This is being cleaned up, folks. You need to know the truth. Okay, our world is being fixed. It's being cleaned up as we speak. Let's put it this way: it's like taking a male dog in to the vet to be removed, not physically, but as in remove a part. That's called denuded. Okay, so it puts discipline to the person or to that dog, and they'll say, well, okay, the dog will quieten down after he gets denuded. Well, that's not true. They can still be that way if one. Sometimes it depends on themselves. Every dog's different. But I don't know why I got into that conversation. But these things do happen. I wanted to share that with you. Also, next thing I want to come up with
This video is going massive right now, and what it shows.
Okay. Now, I want to get into the next subject now, and that's called cloning. Now, some of you may not like the word cloning or body doubles, that sort of thing. One person kept trying to tell me, cloning doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. No, cloning never happened. No, don't make it up. Don't lie to people. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm originally from Manitoba, and I know what cloning has been around for a long time. So yeah, I'm not kidding you, Harmony. They have sex education. Is not even sex education now. They're making it a mandatory. They want the kids to start touching people and they're all. I've seen some major damage, psychological damage happening to a lot of the kids. It's not cool. It's not a good thing. I'm seriously. And this is actually part of BC. I can name some of the schools, and those schools right now, they're in deep trouble. I will say this to you guys and give you guys all a heads up, and you can share this. But those teachers or school board members, okay, the trustees, anybody who actually and tries to enforce that on the children, and they call it a curriculum, that's not education. You don't educate a child to have sex with somebody. None whatsoever. Ever. That has nothing to do with schooling. So what's happening is that they're wanting to allow the pedophiles, and Trudeau has actually released the law now that there's no such thing as a pedophile. The word pedophile is no longer in existence, and they actually added the word pedophile or the symbolism of the pedophile to the pride flag. So now the pedophiles can join the pride. Okay, and those are the blue and the brown and the beige flags. There's two kinds, and that's the brown and the blue is actually part of the pedophiles. That's their part of their flag. So if anybody comes and waves that flag, recognize that flag, guys. That's the pedo flag. Has nothing to do with LGBTQ. Those are the additions to the pedo flag. So any child over 8 years old, they can force themselves upon that child, and you can't do nothing about it unless the child says so. And they have to have 2 witnesses. Here's what they said. By law, you have to have 2 witnesses that child has to have 2 witnesses to prove that he or she was ever harmed by that person and went after them. I'm not kidding you. This is here in British Columbia and all over Canada. This is what they're doing now. It is sick. And then there's a young boy that was forced to go out and walk with people with the pride flags, and the kid did not want to do that. He goes, Mom, Dad, it's not I don't want to do that. And they told him that they would kick him out of school and they would fail his subjects if he didn't join or even make a flag, like, do the colors and all that. He didn't want to. He was 10 years old. They scared him, and the teacher yelled at him, do it now or else you're going to be out of here. And like, she just scared the crap out of the kid. And I saw the video. The father was interviewing his own son. It was scary because he was hanging on to his mom's arms. Like, he was like, Mom, and he was trying to get him to talk and tell the story. And the father said, did anybody touch you in a wrong way? And he goes, I can't say. Why? They told me not to say anything. Who's they? I promise them I can't say. What? I promise them I promise them I won't say anything. So now they're telling the children not to say anything. Don't come home and tell your parents, or else something bad will happen to you. So now that's what they're doing now. They're scaring the crap out of the kids. So the kids are so screwed up. So I'm really giving you guys a bit of heads up here on this one. Okay, I'm not kidding you. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But I will say this: all you trustees, all you school boards, anybody that's enforcing the children, like forcing the kids to do what they want to follow this LGBTQ stuff, it's gone too far. And bringing all these people in to do a demonstration on the kids or get the kids to demonstration, nah. Okay. Yeah, it's worse than residential school. Worse. It's going to get worse. So there's even drag queens that come into school, and the drag queens are teaching the kids how to take off their clothes, like, and dance naked. Like, they're doing all that too. This has no storytelling. I'm telling you, it gets worse. Okay. So no sound. Oh, hang on, guys. It's not right. My mic wouldn't. My mic quit. Just a minute. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now, guys? Say yes, no. You should be able to hear me now because this mic quit. So it should be working now. Yeah, my mic burnt. This one actually, the charge needed to be charged. I forgot to charge it. So I have a spare mic. Okay, I'm not sure how far I got on it, but I would say just quick review for what happened to the kids. Like I said before, I'm going to make sure that the teachers, or not make sure, you need to make sure that the school boards, I'm giving the teachers heads up on this. Any teacher that enforces this stuff on the kids, you're going to be taken to prison. You're not going to federal prison. You're not going to provincial prison. You're going to military prison. You will be charged under military tribunal under 1838, and you'll be taken, and the military, there's no lawyers involved. They're going to they will judge you, and they'll find out what happens. Either you do life in prison, or you being okay. That's it. Because this is being taken care of now. Okay. This is Criminal Code 13848, 13818. And this is criminal code, military criminal code. I'm not kidding you guys. these people that actually force this stuff onto the kids, abuse them, these guys are going bye-bye. They're not coming back. So I'm giving you teachers a heads up. Either you stand up for the kids and none of this crap, or you're going to be going bye-bye. That's what I'm going to say it. And I already know because I was informed that that's what's going to happen. Okay. I have friends that I have connections in the higher up above all above the Canadian, all through the, even the Canadian government has no say. None. Martial law is coming in and they're coming to pick you guys up. That's all I can say. All the baddies. It's going to happen. Oh, I'm not kidding you, Rachel. It's I've there's with my intel, I know that's what they said. They're going to come and collect them. Now, let's go to the next step, next story, and that is we're going to talk about cloning. I knew about cloning for a long time, since the 1950s. We've had cloning centers, about 3 cloning centers across Canada. One is actually based out of Manitoba, which I'm originally from, and that cloning center has been around quite a while. So you know about the sheep, okay? That one name of the sheep is saying, well, we cloned so-and-so the sheep. Well, that's been around the 70s. They've been cloning long before that. And they're not cloning animals, they're also cloning people, okay? Cloning has been around for a long time. So anybody who's been a bad guy or bad girl, like really bad, have been arrested and taken to Gitmo and charged and prosecuted. Now, whoever, if the story is not going to be that well known in the future yet, so they will bring in a clone. What happens, they have the ability to transfer consciousness over to a clone, and that was through extraterrestrial beings. They're the ones that are able to do it. And so they bring back a clone that it has all the memories of the person, looks just like the person, so to speak, and that's exactly what they do. Now, I'm going to show you something. Here's when a clone breaks down. Okay. Now, this guy here is a professional wrestler. Now, he's got I guess you say, someone who actually manages clones. Okay. And no one knows about him. No one knows he's a clone. And yet, this particular fellow who's a wrestler, and his name is Montel Ford. Now, Montel must have sold his soul to a bad person, bad government, and he gave up his physical self to become a clone, or have a clone. So there's more than one him around, probably. And so they decided to create a Montel Ford, who's actually part of the WWE Wrestling Alliance. And when their clone breaks down, they act like robots, like they will just freeze. Now, this is, if you think this is crazy, it is true. It's like because The Rock Johnson, okay, you already know who that is. He actually was arrested about 2019, taken a Gitmo, and then they brought back his clone. There have been a few other wrestlers that are clones. So if you want to become famous movie star, you're going to end up being a clone. So I tell people, you got a heads up on this. Anybody wants to become a famous singer, most of your singers, most of your actors right now that you see out there in the academies, most of them are clones. The real ones are gone because they were part of a large human trafficking organization and they were taken out. You're going to find out. But here's how I want you guys to see this, to witness it, to learn about it, so you have a better idea what this all means. Okay, so I'm going to make this picture bigger. And here's what it would look like. Now watch carefully. That lady there is not his wife. Okay, that is his, well, you'll hear it.
Is actually really weird. Montez Ford is a wrestler for the WWE. During this match, he appears to completely freeze up in front of his cameraman. The video was caught from multiple angles, and I'm going to show you guys both. Exclusive items and so much more, all at the Red Building at Toronto. Open through Sunday.
That's his handler. She turns on the switch.
Everybody around him is trying to snap him out of it at this point, but he doesn't budge. People are saying that this is proof that he's some sort of robot or clone or synthetic human. I myself have made multiple videos on events like this, including the time everybody saw Shaq completely freeze up on live TV. Although I love conspiracy theories, I don't know if this is something that is legitimately happening.
All of these guys here, this fellow here is a news columnist. He actually is also a clone. This basketball player is a clone. Shaq was a clone. All these guys are cloned. Most of these guys that were in sports, whatever they had done that was involved with human trafficking, got themselves taken out, and they brought in the clones to replace them. But all the guys that have gone bad have already been taken out. But these are clones. That's the reason why they freeze and they don't move. And people think, oh, they're acting. No, that's exactly what happens. I'll repeat this again so you get to see the truth. Okay, I'll bring this back and you get to see one more time because more people coming into the chat room. Please like and share this one too.
This video is going massive right now, and what it shows is actually really weird. Montez Ford is a wrestler for the WWE. During this match, he appears to completely freeze up in front of his cameraman. The video was caught from multiple angles, and I'm going to show you guys both.
Exclusive items and so much more, all at the Rec Room in Hackensack, Toronto. Open through Sunday.
Like I said, that's his handler. She knows how to turn on the buttons and moves around. They turn on the sensors.
Everybody around him is trying to snap him out of it at this point, but he doesn't budge. People are saying that this is proof that he's some sort of robot or clone or synthetic human. I myself have made multiple videos on events like this, including the time everybody saw Shaq completely freeze up on live TV. Although I love conspiracy theories, I don't know if this is something that is legitimately happening or if it's just celebrities keen on the fact that they'll go massively viral if they play this prank. What do you guys think?
It's not a prank, guys. Trust me, not a prank. That's just the way it works. They have to, anybody who's doing the research has to say, oh, conspiracy theory. That word conspiracy theory came about during the times of the CIA when Kennedy was supposed to be assassinated. And when they were doing the investigation and the CIA said, oh, that's nothing but conspiracy theory. They're trying to show you the truth. So they're the ones that made up that word, conspiracy theory. And that's been around for a long, long, long time. Okay, so like I said before, The Rock Johnson actually is also a clone, and there's actually quite a few other wrestlers that are clones. And Ernie, I know your granddaughters are wrestlers, and same as the WWE, but they'll never become clones. The girls are good, so don't worry about that, my friend. I'll let you know that. This is the leftovers of what was going on, but cloning will not be carried on any further after our commander-in-chief is in control of everything. But like I said before, we have a lot of clonings. Let's see who else is a clone. There's Fauci. Dr. Fauci is a clone. Bill Gates is a clone. There's quite a few other people that are in government. They're clones. In fact, our Trudeau, okay, is a clone. Okay, he was cloned. And we've actually went through 5 Trudeaus, and this one here is a clone that's temporarily there. And you got about maybe, I'd say a good what I understood, I think almost half of the Liberal cabinet are clones. So, yeah, you'll find out. And also, Christopher Freeland is. Yeah, we'll see. You'll see when you. I mean, they look real, act real, but here's what you'll find out. Here's how you know when someone's a clone. If they can handle the winter snow, cold weather, like I've seen the video, there was a cold snap in Ontario, and there was a video that Ontario had an ice storm, and it lasted for almost 2 weeks. The power was out for almost 2 weeks. Ice storm. The CBC was interviewing Trudeau, and there's two ladies, one each side of him, and they're both wearing parkas. Okay? Both wearing parkas. And you can tell 45 below. So they're interviewing them outside. They got their parkas on. They're cold as all heck in their parkas. You can see how you get your heat of your breath comes out, right? Trudeau was in the center wearing a suit, regular suit. And he was smiling, like he's supposed to for the camera. And yet when he talked, nothing came out of his mouth. No breath, no heat, nothing came out of his mouth. And he was smiling all this time and never was cold. Gee, what does that tell you guys? I watched the video and I said, that's a clone. Okay. I'm not kidding you. He's been doing, it's, you have to look carefully. That's how you do it. When there has been two actors, when they had the Academy Awards a couple of years ago, okay, where the one actor got up on his feet and one was assaulted. One guy was actually a MC on the show, on the stage, and he actually was insulting his guy's wife. I forgot his name all of a sudden. Guy insults the guy's wife. The guy gets up, that's it. He smacks him in the face. Okay. Now, when you smack someone in the face, you can hear the slap of skin. But when he smacked this guy in the face, it sounded like you're hitting plastic. I'm not kidding you. Totally different. Okay. Diane says, okay. My Wi-Fi was cut off tonight. Ooh, too bad. Sorry to hear about that. I worked. Okay. Diane says I worked bin child abuse prevention for children under age 5. Okay. 30 and okay. Yes, he did look like a robot, didn't he? Yeah, observe. They seemed like empty vessels. Will Smith is the person that actually was the one that felt insulted. Well, that was not the real Will Smith. In fact, they made a movie where Will Smith had a younger Will Smith. That was a clone. They didn't do a CGI. That was a real clone to play the younger Will Smith. That's how good they're at. And they wanted you to see this. This is the cool part. This is the funny part, guys. They wanted you to see the real Will Smith, or not necessarily Will Smith, but how they can change it up. So there was actually two Will Smiths. They made it look so real. Okay. Oh, by the way, I want to put the big word out. Big acknowledgement. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Mrs. Eaglechild. One of my very close friends passed away a couple years ago, and he plays a native flute, and he's a silversmith. And he died of a heart attack. And anyways, his lovely wife, Myrna, she likes to make cup warmers. And or she makes them, making them, and this is what I wanted was a sunflower, because I have a sunflower in my cup. And I said to her, "Can you make me a Q?" So she made me a sunflower with a Q right there. So that's to let you guys know what's going on. So she made it for me, and she knew what Q means. So I like showing off my Q cup. Sunflower. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys may not know this, there's actually a video that was out. I may not have showed it to you or not, but I watched this video where this guy did a video and he saw two suns in the sky, one on one right side, one on the left side. But he talked about the sunflowers. He said, see all the sunflowers? He says they're facing that direction, not this direction. And I mean, nobody even paid attention. Like, okay, why is it facing that direction? He says, well, look up there. And he had his camera up in the sky, and there's a sun over there, but the sunflower is facing that direction. Then he said, look, there's a sun over there. And that's the sun was following, the sunflowers are following the real sun. Okay. That was a fake sun. Flower power. She's in the room. Hi, Myrna. Yep. I'm showing off my Q cup. And my coffee. I'm on my coffee. So, yeah. Big shout out to my very good friend, dear friend. So, okay, what else we got here? I wanted to bring up too. And again, before, like I said before, our sunflowers, our flowers will follow the real true sun. This is the year there's going to be 2 moons. Okay, you're going to start seeing 2 moons in the sky for the next 60 to 80 days, no, 120 days. You're going to see 2 moons in the sky, and they'll start to appear like one next to the other. You'll start seeing the 2 moons, and everyone's going to see the 2 moons. You can't disacknowledge it. You say, oh, that's just reflection. No, 2 moons. One's actually appearing. This is part of the Lionsgate portal. Okay. The new moons are beginning. The 2 new moons. This is what they call the new moons. They're coming in. That's I want to share that with you guys. Don't be afraid of it. That's just the way it was. They used to have 2 moons here before on this planetary in this planet, and for thousands of years ago. And so that they're coming. The 2 moons are actually making this return. EBS, yes. EBS Emergency Broadcasting System is coming. Yes, it is. I don't know when. I can't put a time on it. Again, I always give you guys a bit of heads up. Please start saving a lot of your cash. Put it aside. If you want to be an investor as well, invest in gold and silver, and set that aside for yourself in case by any chance you may have to use that, because down the road, and I know they'll be doing it when we do have our EBS. They'll have one more lockdown, but it has nothing to. And then they're going to try and make people think, oh, it's because of the new whatever they want to call it name. And it's not. They got nothing on us to prove that we have to look sick. I mean, I've been watching. The only people I'm seeing more now wearing masks are kids. The kids are using them now just to hide behind. It has nothing to do with fear. They like to hide behind them. They look like as if they're gangsters. This is their gangster mask on now. Everybody goes downtown, they're wearing their gangster mask. That's all they're doing now. They did. Oh, I don't want you to see me. I'm going to video record you, but you can't see me. That's all it is. They're all gangster masks. Antifas, rowdies, Karens, man Karens, whatever, that's what happens. So, if you see guys walk around, those are gangster masks. But once in a while, I still see it. My wife and I are actually, she was quite shocked. We're sitting next to, we're actually at a restaurant having a bite to eat. And this car pulled up to us. And it was a husband and wife. I think it was husband and wife. Yeah, a young couple. And both of them were wearing masks together in the car. They were both wearing masks together in a car. Walking into a fitness center. Not to go do fitness, to buy material, I guess buy shoes, shirts, whatever have you. But both of them walked in wearing masks. And the female that was the driver wears a double mask. Now, what the hell? Like, you guys, these guys are so extreme. They're still believing, oh, it's back again. The MP is back. People are breaking it all over because it's back. No, it's from all this, guys. And those are the side effects. That's what it is. I got a photograph. Where did I put it? It was so scary. Pardon me. I think I have that picture in my phone. That's why I can't bring it up. But it's so heartbreaking. A young lady who's a model. Nothing to do with Hollywood. This is just here, living here in BC. Recently, they told her if you want to be a model, no, sorry, not model. She was working for a health center, had to be part of the hospital, and told her that she had to have all of her vaccinations updated, and if she didn't have them vaccinated, that she can't come in the hospital. She can't work in a clinic. And she's never been jabbed in her life, not once. She was beautiful young lady, smart, intelligent. They told her she couldn't have a job. Just told her to her face, and she felt real bad, like she was really hurting bad. And so she thought, well, I guess I'm gonna have to. She said, because this is what they're enforcing it again. So she took all three. She got one this arm, and another arm after within a matter of 24 hours or 48 hours. She was so sick, and she broke out all over. Like her face was red, her eyes puffed up. Like she didn't look like herself anymore. She looked like a zombie. She looked like somebody who came out of a horror movie. Her eyes were bleeding. Her mouth was like she's blood coming out of her side of her ears. Like it was horrible. Skin disorder, like it was really, really bad. Like she was so sick, and she almost died. She almost died twice in the hospital. Her internal system broke down, all that because of the three jabs. What the hospital had done is saved the old Modernas and the old stuff that they actually kept it away. That should have been thrown away. They saved it. They didn't tell anybody that they got rid of it, that they didn't get rid of it. They were supposed to. That was by orders of our commander-in-chief. But they didn't, because they don't have a shelf life. And they gave them the old stuff, the stuff that started from the very freaking beginning, and they nailed the girl, and they got her, and she's almost at death's door. 23 years old. Doesn't deserve this. And the hospitals are still doing this. The hospitals talking about that they want to bring back everything. I tell people, if you can, as much as you can, see your doctor. Don't go to the hospital, or see a doctor clinic. They're not the same as the hospitals. Don't go in the hospital. If they tell you wear a mask, refused. Do not capitulate. It is not a law. If they say it's mandatory, no, it's not. Okay. Yes, they have been recalled, but the hospitals are not giving them up. They stored them away. They hid them away. That's the problem. Sir Memorial is actually in deep trouble right now. And so is another hospital. They're in deep shit because what they had done. They're still jabbing people they're not supposed to. And if you're volunteering to take it, you're not. But here's the problem with the companies. Okay. There are companies to this day that I have actually spoken to that they're not even allowing people to walk into the certain restaurants or certain stores unless you're masked. And they still won't let you in some of the stores unless you're vaccinated. They want you to show your vaccination cards. And that is illegal, folks. It is illegal. They can't force you to wear a mask, nor they can tell you to actually get a jab before you come into any business. You can't. It's illegal. And they should have been informed. Nobody's telling them about the truth. They need to remember the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We do have that code. People tend to have forgotten. Yes, Harmony, you're going to have to. Do not do any more. I'm not kidding you, my girl. Do not do any more, because we are losing our people. I have never seen. I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to leave this world. Here's my advice. You need to do a heavy metals cleansing. Okay, for you, Harmony, heavy metals cleansing. You go down to a health food store where it's close by you. Go get one done, and you're going to have to stick with it. Do the one that does for a whole month. Heavy metals closing, because what's happening is they got nanobites in your system, and the nanobites are messing with your freaking body. If your arm's still sore, it's because of the nanobites. It's trying to find ways to clog your blood. It was never proven as a CURE. It never was. And I know Facebook or YouTube's going to hate me. They're saying, no, you can't say that. Blah, 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 blah. I don't give a rat's ass, YouTube. Because I know very well no one has that right to harm anyone. Anybody who supports it are going to go bye-bye. I'm not kidding you. Any company, any organization, any hospital, or any nurses, doctors, I mean, if they're forcing it on you, they're going to prison. They're going to military prison. I'm not kidding you. Even and I'm telling you guys this right now. I already seen the documents. Okay, I already seen the documents. The document states any citizen, whether you're Canadian, American, anyone, a citizen, if you break the law, as in harming someone's life, you don't have a lawyer. You're taken to Guantanamo Bay, Gitmo, or any sort of military base. You are tried and convicted. 2 options. No lawyer. You're tried and convicted the same day. You're gone the same day. There is no Last Supper. Okay. If it's giving you migraines, you need to do a heavy metals cleansing. I'm not kidding you, my dear. As quickly as soon as possible, get your butt down to the health food store. Tell them exactly that you want a heavy metal cleansing, and then start making yourself a drink. My wife makes it. It's called, it's grapefruit rind. You get 3 grapefruits and the rind, this outer skin. And the outer skin of lemons, you want to get 4 lemons, outer skin, and you boil those. And you boil that for 3 hours, let it steep, and then you put that into a dark brown bottle. So you're making the drink, and you drink, like I say, a couple of tablespoons of that a day in the morning. And that goes through the system and helps break it down. Okay, you want to basically clean up everything that's out of you. And you want your digestive system to work better. And that's what the pineapple or lemons together does. I do have the recipe. If you want me to, Harmony, you can ask me, send me a text through Facebook, and I will send you the recipe, and you can start on that. Again, the heavy metals cleansing. Anybody who's actually needing, I recommend everybody to do a heavy metal cleansing. I'll tell you why. All the spraying in the skies they've been doing for years, the ozone and all that. That's all that before our commander-in-chief took care of it. Some people still have the odd time to have the problem breathing. We're not getting the breathing like we used to have, and it's vitally important. I mean, I'm an elder. I'm 67 years old. I'm going to be 68 in October. I've never had this in my arm, and I would refuse to, because no one has any right to tell me what I have or have not to have. And I try to give people a heads up. Please trust my word. I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to help you as much as I can and save you guys' life. Trust my word. I'm trying to do as much as I can to give you guys a bit of a, like a leeway, saying let's get this fixed, because you don't want to be sicker. And it's not, everything to let you know, Harmony, or everybody else out there, those are new listeners. Thank you guys for part of it. We're doing YouTube as well as Facebook at the same time in the chat rooms. But the whole scenario of the word C-19 was all to do with depopulation, and that was the CIA and Bill Gates and all the presidents that were previous, besides our commander-in-chief Trump, not Trump, but the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas. Their goal was to depopulate the world. And their goal was to depopulate. They actually all said, we're going into a new world order. And that world order was to depopulate. There was also a Bill and Melinda Gates Depopulation Center, was written on the side of their building. Depopulation. Bill Gates even brought forward in his video that he has a way of how to depopulate the world. And he brought forth Dr. Fauci, who actually had these drugs made, and they're called experimental drugs, not a cure. Experimental. and they had Wuhan involved to back him up financially. Now, Trump kicked Fauci out of the United States because he was making this, and Trump says, not in our country, and so he kicked him out. So they made it in Wuhan in China. That's why Trump blames China, because China helped him financially back it. If China didn't back him up, they none of this ever would have come forward. But because Fauci had stated back in 2017 that he looks forward to depopulating the world because he was also the inventor of the AIDS virus. He created it purposely to depopulate the gay and lesbian society. It had nothing to do with Africa. His goal was to depopulate the gay and lesbian society. Depopulate. So he used them as the problem, and that's not what it should have ever happened ever. None of us should ever have lost our lives on account of it. And I lost my brother-in-law because of that. My brother-in-law Johnny, my wife's brother, he died of AIDS. Why? Because they told him this is what he had to do. And before that, he was a healthy man. I couldn't give a rat's butt if he had a boyfriend. I couldn't. I still loved him as my brother-in-law. And if he introduces his man as his new mate, good for you. He's welcome to the family. I don't judge people's characters of what they want to do, or how they want to live, or how they want to dress. I couldn't give a rat's butt. What pisses me off is when they hurt our kids. That's what pisses me off. And forcing it on our children they're so young, their brains they're not even thinking about sex or even sexual gender change. And it's the teachers that are doing this, telling the parents that they have no rights, that the teacher has the right to tell the hospitals and the doctors, oh, I'm making a decision here. I want this girl to be a boy or this boy to be a girl. A teacher should have no say in the matter. They're supposed to be teachers, not psychologists. They're not psychiatrists. And it's exactly what they're doing. And we had a father here back in 2019-20. And there was a teacher that told one of the students, one of this father's daughter, who was 13, 14, and told her that she had to be a boy because she felt in her heart that she had to be a boy. Not the girl. The teacher said this. The teacher called the police, had the father arrested, and said that he tried to harm his daughter, which is not true. He loved his daughter very much. She called ahead of time to make sure that the father was not in the way, and then she had the daughter seized to be taken away, immediately taken to the hospital, and start the programming of having her turn to a boy. The father was not allowed to see his daughter or even communicate with her for 6 months. He was not allowed to see her. The judge put him behind bars for 6 months in British Columbia. 6 months behind bars, no communication with his child. Why? Because he did not want the daughter to know what the father did not want her to get it done. And she was not willing to go. The two officers grabbed her and just dragged her down until she got the shot in the arm. And they said, well, it's too late now. Now you're a boy. Then they did the surgery. The father was released 6 months later. He went to find his daughter. And then shit went all to hell. I'm not kidding you guys. It's worse than you think. And this is what your prime minister has done. He's taken the rights away from the parent, and he's making the children have the say of no matter what they want to do. No matter what. I'm not kidding you. He started passing all these bills. Our prime minister was passing bills, and when the real prime minister was alive, he was passing bills continuously. That's okay to have sex with kids because he already had sexual experiences with little girls when he was a drama teacher in Vancouver. Okay. He was a drama teacher and he was already having sex with girls. He had 4 charges against him by 4 individuals, and he paid them all off in silence. So they wouldn't talk about it. Okay, so what about the people that got the first jab from the beginning? First jab, second jab, third jab. Would the cleansing still work? It can. The third one actually is the AIDS virus. So if you got the third jab, you are the carrier of the B, of the A, the B, they call it AIDS. So, but you could be very lucky, because if it was done early, as in 19, that means that all of these experimental drugs were already in you. And if after late 2020, there were so many manufacturing companies that was manufacturing the drug, that those got burnt down. Trump's people went down there and burned them all down, destroyed everything. So what's laden is whatever was kept secretly away that others don't know about. Trump did not even know that those drugs were that poisonous. He did not know. He thought they were like, okay, maybe this is going to help. He didn't know. And then he realized after, like, holy crap, this is even worse than I thought. Like, nobody would know. Anybody would become a politician and you're being told, oh, no, don't worry about this. It's going to help people. You're just believing it. He didn't know. But again, every politician, every doctor, and every politician said they're exempt. Why would a politician say they're exempt? They didn't have to get one. Oh no, we're okay. We're exempt. Look at that word, exempt. How come they got exempt? Because someone gave them a heads up not to do it. And most every politicians never got it, unless they didn't like this politician. They want that politician the way, so they say, hey, you better get it done, right? Or that doctor, you better get it done. There's a lot of doctors actually got the jab in the arm, and guess what? They're not here no more. We lost a lot of doctors and nurses through the jabs. On our Telegram page, we have a dedication to all the people that took the jab, and all those people, they're all people that passed away. It's called passed suddenly. They had to make a part 2 of all the jabs that took place across the world. There's well over 2 billion people that got jabbed and passed. 2 billion. That was their goal, to take out 2 billion. And then Bill Gates' goal was to take out another 7 more billion. Guess what? Ain't going to happen. No, because Trump said, not in my, nope, not anymore. Not going to happen. So now he's taking people out of there. He's protecting everybody. So it's all changing. Things are beginning to happen. People are waking up more. That's just the way I want to let you guys know. There are healing medicines, and my wife's in the room. There's healing medicines that we make. My wife actually, she makes my hydroxy for me, and I'm telling you guys, it works. It does help a whole lot for your gut. Helps you lose weight. It also does too, because it breaks down all the sugars out of your system. Because, here's something else too. A lot of people are eating a lot of sugar when they were stressed out, because you eat lots of sugar and you don't realize it. You just not thinking, oh, I'm going to chew on this, and you get so much into it. And if you're not doing anything, you're sitting down all the time, and I was putting weight on during 19, and that's not me, because I was always a very active person. I thought, holy crap, man, I got to about 265. No way. I got to stop this, because I began to look like my dad. And I had to stop. So I started taking care of myself again. And I thought, okay, why am I still gaining the weight? And I realized after, my system's so craving sugars because of, you can carry stress, or you can just the way things are. If you're not motivated, well, no, I was motivated, just for some reason I was carrying things inside of me. Even your emotions, if you carry things up, you carry a lot of stress, you can actually eat lots of sugar. Carrying stress covers up your emotional pain. So I stopped doing that, and my wife can tell you, I'm not eating the sugar like I used to, right? And so what I'm doing now is I do my hydroxy, and I'm far more active. My lungs, my chest feels good. I can feel the weight drop. Like it's like you feel like you go like, oh, I can breathe. I can feel good. I'm not tired. Like, you have that feeling. You always feel tired, and it has nothing to do with your age. No matter how young you are, that's what happens. So I can tell people, you'll start to notice a big difference in yourself and your health, big time, absolutely big time. So I see everybody in the chat rooms, and let's see who else wants to talk and share some information. Let's see. Diane says my grandkids age 3 had to tell primary school what they identify as. Yeah, I know why an age 3 had to tell a primary school what they identify as. My uncle had them died. Ate a seizure in his car. No way. Okay, I use Demerara super something to digest. Vitamins. Oh, okay, vitamins S2. Yep. Okay. Use to digest. Yeah, everyone's different in what they use. Yeah, sugar is not. I mean, there's different kinds of sugar, guys. And I'll tell you this: sugar cane is good for you, but the processed sugar, don't even eat it. It's because it's not real sugar. It's just processed. It's actually got a lot of bleach in it. And I mean, there's a difference between, eating something with lots of bleach in it. It can do some major damage to your gut, and your body does not is unable to digest certain foods. Pardon me. What else is there? Anything else to talk about before I finish this night? I think I'm pretty well. Oh, yes. I love this one. I got to share this with you guys. This is American. Honey is really good for you. That's why my wife says honey. Yeah, I've been eating honey all my life. I've been honey and peanut butter sandwich, mix it up, and it's really healthy. If you want to try a good bread, really good bread, get squirrely bread. If it's in your area, get squirrely bread. Anybody who's got diabetes, it's better for you to have that. It's called wheat germ. You're not eating the wheat, but eating the wheat germ is better for you, more healthier. Okay. Now, one last thing I want to share, and this actually, you know who this is. Now, let me bring this up. Dun, dun, dun. This is the American. All right, we already know who she is, right? Now, she cheated when Trump actually debated her, and everybody knows that she was not acting like herself, because this is not the real who we know who it is. And then someone actually advertised these brand new Nova H1 audio earrings. They look like jewelry. So now, instead of walking around with an ear plug in your ear, like everybody has these earbuds, and someone said, "Hey, why don't we make something look like earrings? And then you don't have to, and you don't realize that you were actually wearing jewelry." So these people here they look like pearl, but they're actually earphones. So what happened was, Nova H1, the audio earrings, and the first and the only wireless earphones embedded in a pair of pearl earrings on a golden or silver plated clip. Now, there's a video that she did wear them, and she was acting like she was the person. So what was happening is there's people on the other side telling her what to repeat. Anything that Trump had a debate between her and him, she was going off on a tangent like she knows everything. She did not know everything. So whoever this person was that gave her the say what to say, and she just repeated it. And because she's a person that really doesn't have the smarts. I mean, as much as you may think, but that's exactly what they're doing. So you guys pay attention. That video, and you can hear, and one person actually, what they had done, somebody actually took their microphone. There's actually a little sensor, and from the studio on TV, and they can microfilm or micro catch to see if anybody's using a sound through the ear. Now, anybody doing a debate in the States, it is illegal. It's a federal offense. You cannot have anybody by your side, stand next to you and tell you what to say. Because that does not make you a politician. Now you are cheating. That's a federal offense. So it's aiding and abetting. So guess what? She will never be the next president. Never. She cheated her way out and cheated her way in. And that's exactly what's going on, guys. People don't get it. They just don't get it. She thinks she's going to get away with it. Not at all. But let's see here. Okay, one more thing. Carbon tax. Okay, our country. We are the only country in the world. The only country in the world at being carbon taxed. We're being carbon taxed in BC triple carbon taxed on our fuel. Why? We're being triple carbon taxed on almost everything. There's no carbon tax in no carbon tax in Mexico, no carbon tax in the United States, no carbon tax in anywhere across the world, not even Greenland. And we're the only country in Canada being carbon taxed. Why? Because Trudeau wants his money. And the politicians, the Liberals, want their money. They want to make more money. And what Trudeau had said, that he's going to raise the wages of the Liberal government. Right now, Trudeau is making over $2 million a year. And he's using our tax dollars to pay for his fuel, traveling all across the world. You call that carbon footprint? Is carbon aware, right? But he wants to take all that away from you. So that anybody who's in Canada, pay attention, guys. I'm not kidding you. This is what this guy's doing. It's not right. Not at all. Let's see here. Any more things? And I think that we're pretty well done. But I want to wish you guys well. Be good to each other. And oh, one more thing. I went to the flea market a couple of weeks ago. I took my day out. Or no, I was I was at the flea market. I was selling at the flea market, and the news media shows up in Cloverdale, and so the newspaper people showed up, and they took a photograph of people there. Like, this is Cloverdale Market. The Surrey leader, I guess. And guess who's wearing the purple t-shirt walking away? Yeah, that's me. That's me, right? Where's that point? That purple guy in the purple t-shirt. That's me. That's me right there in that corner, walking away. Headband and all, carrying my bag. I was in so much pain. My hip was dislocated. I was unable to walk right. I looked like I was hunched over. Since then, I got been going to see my chiropractor, so he's putting me back in. He actually, he said I had zero mobility in my hip. That means that I was on. That's a good thing I came to him, because I would have been unable to walk anymore. So now I'm a lot better, feeling better. So every Tuesday I go in to get myself remanipulated back to my old self again. Well, I got hit by a Tesla. Yes, guys, I got hit by a Tesla over a couple months ago, and my body was never the same since. I didn't realize I was dislocated. When they hit me, they dislocated my hip. It popped me right out. And I'm walking forward, and I couldn't figure out how come my front leg wasn't able to walk forward. I was always hunched over. And I kept on losing the feeling in my right leg. I kept falling down. Well, because it's pinching the nerves. And that's what I'm telling people. If you can, don't get a Tesla. Stick to gas-powered vehicles. Your Teslas are not helping any whatsoever of helping it save energy. It's actually doing more destruction instead of saving carbon. Because your Teslas, your batteries are worth 10 times more than the car. One battery alone is $15,000, and they cannot be recycled. They cannot be replaced. Can't be recycled. So how do they get rid of them? They bury them. And where are you going to get rid of this leaching batteries? How are you going to get rid of them? They don't know yet. So that's what I'm pointing out, guys. Try not to get a Tesla. They're not going to do you any good. Go back to gas-powered vehicles, because they're not fossil fuel you're burning. The fuel comes from Mother Earth. The oil comes from Mother Earth. We are always meant to drive vehicles like this. Okay, we're not. In fact, we are right now in BC. We're 0% carbon. We're 0%. But according to Trudeau, oh no, there's got to be carbon everywhere. We need to stop the cows from even eating meat, and like, give me a break. They're making up all the stories, so then he's losing his profiteering. But I'm going to give you guys one final photograph. I think this is going to be your most pleasurable time, as I'm looking forward to seeing this day happen. And that's this right here. That's the last you're going to see by the end of this year. Bye-bye. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Just like wrestling. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. You're done. So, anyways, thank you guys for being part of this program. I hope you guys enjoy this evening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. May God be with you all as well. Stay on the queue, okay? And follow me on Telegram. I'm on, my page is called True North Strong and Free. Also find me on Facebook. If you have no Facebook, or just let me know what's going on. If you make me a friend on Facebook, you want to be part of this program, love to see if you guys be part of it. Join in. I'll get you guys to come and see this. You're more than welcome to. Yeah, what can I say? We're gonna get rid of them. We need to have our peace and quiet. Need to get our lives back. I want my life back. Right? So anyways, take care, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. I'm going to go out with my program. Where's my song? Where's my song? Where's my song? Okay, here we go. Where's my song? I lost my song. Where's my song? Oh, yeah, there it is. Take care. Oh, I lost my song. Hang on. iFeeks. There it is.
Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time to stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live